Hey everyone, I am here in the hospital. I am here for an updated ultrasound and to run some HCG levels. I found out on New Year's Eve that I was expecting and wasn't expected. We weren't necessarily trying, but we were definitely still elated for the ability to get pregnant and have another baby come and join our family. And I got really sick just a couple of days after that, so I knew that I was pregnant. I was really hormonal, just kind of crazy, everything going on. And so was working on getting in to see a doctor because I have a lot of hormone issues with my thyroid, and every time I get pregnant it's kind of a high risk management situation where I need to manage it, make sure that all of my hormone levels are good, and just to make sure that the pregnancy stays viable. And so I wasn't able to get in to see everybody or anybody. Everybody's really booked out. And so today is Monday. Last Wednesday, I started bleeding, so I got laid down in bed, which is really hard to do with two little ones. Thankfully, my mom has been helping a ton with the babies and keeping them engaged, which Isabella has been loving it and thriving it because she doesn't get to spend time with my mom very often, and so getting to spend time with Grandma Sissy has been really fun for her. And I stayed down for 3 days. Let's see, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I was on my 4th day of staying down and just working from bed and just trying to rest and taking all of the nutritional things that I could to make sure that I didn't lose the pregnancy. And it was kind of promising for a while because I kept getting to a point where my bleeding went away completely, and I would do that 2 or 3 times throughout the day where I would bleed a lot and then my bleeding would go away. And so I just tried to stay down and keep my hips up. I don't know if that's an old wives' tale or not, but tried to keep my hips up and just take care of myself and my baby. And then the bleeding started getting worse on Saturday. So Colton and I came into the ER because it was over the weekend, and when I got here, I started passing a lot of clots, and we think that I might have miscarried when I got here to the hospital, because by the time we got to the ultrasound room, there was nothing in my uterus. And so we think that I might have miscarried right then. I was either 6 or 8 weeks along. I'm not sure exactly the dating of it, but they checked. Essentially, I'm here today for another screening. They want to make sure that it wasn't an ectopic pregnancy. The fact that my bleeding has slowed down since then. Saturday night it was really, really bad. The bleeding was really, really bad. Couldn't stand without it being horrible. But since the bleeding has slowed down, I think that I did miscarry, and my body is just cleaning everything out now, and everything is kind of slowing down and going back to normal. Funny thing though is, while we were here at the hospital, we actually ran into the ultrasound tech that filmed with us, that came and did our ultrasound with Ephraim in our home. He recognized us and he's like, "Hey, I remember you guys." So that was really nice for a really kind of, not wonderful experience. To run into kind of a friendly face was really nice. And thankfully the ER was able to get us in really quick and taken care of. So it was a better experience than what it could have been. We're definitely sad to not have been able to continue to carry the baby. We were really shocked with the timing of it, because that would have meant that Tammy and I were like 8 weeks apart from each other, from her having her baby, and then I would have been due 8 weeks after that. So that's kind of crazy. They would have been pretty much twins, which is kind of an interesting dynamic, but we would have welcomed it because we know that babies come when they're supposed to, which is also why it's a little bit easier for me to accept that this baby didn't stay. You know, maybe we're supposed to learn something from this, or maybe I just need to be in a little bit better of a health situation in order to sustain a good pregnancy. And so we don't really know what happened or why I miscarried. But today we're confirming that my HCG levels have come down all the way, because they can't confirm a miscarriage until the HCG levels drop. And when I was at the ER before, my levels were actually still elevated from the last time I had tested. So anyways, just giving you guys an update. It's just kind of a crazy last couple of weeks. It's kind of funny though. I was having really bad morning sickness in the morning, and Tammy was having bad morning sickness in the evening, and we were kind of taking turns, and it's just kind of a funny situation and dynamic, because by the time I was starting to feel better at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I would then be like, wait, what's wrong with you, Tammy? Like, wait, are you okay? Is everything okay? Because then I was finally feeling better, and she was at the point where she wanted to go lay down, and because she wasn't feeling the best. But she's doing really well. She's in her 2nd trimester now, and you know, we just kind of roll with the punches with things like that. It is kind of hard. You process, you know, the grief of it, losing, you know, you feel all of the pregnancy symptoms, and you know that you're pregnant, and you get that far along, and you get used to the idea that you're pregnant and that you're expecting, and so that's kind of hard for that to then not work out. But we are still very, very happy and excited that Tammy's pregnancy is going so well. And we'll just have to see, you know, what happens. This next year is going to be kind of crazy for our family, and we'll just have to see what's in store for us, and you know, when things kind of settle down a little bit more, and maybe I'll share a little bit more with you guys about what's been going on with my health and everything. But I just want to work on my health for a little while and see if I can get in a better, healthy state before I get pregnant again. And so maybe this is just the opportunity to prepare me to be ready to be pregnant mentally, but then not quite yet physically. So I don't know, just looking for the silver lining in it all, and miscarriages are hard no matter what. It's just what we take away from it that we can learn from. And so yeah, there's an update from you guys, and we'll try and still get on and do a podcast. We've been trying to get on and do a podcast since Christmas to tell you more about Tammy's pregnancy, and then it was shortly thereafter that, like I said, I found out New Year's Eve that I was expecting. And so we've just kind of been rolling through the motions of life and the craziness of everything, and feeling sick and not feeling very good, and so anyways, we'll have to jump on and do a podcast episode soon. But there's an update for you guys, and we hope to do some more updates for you soon. Thanks so much for following us and supporting us through this life that we have, and we really appreciate you guys. Thanks so much. We'll see ya.